people are moving. It
Mhm.
is a fact. It is a phenomenon. It's probably the greatest phenomenon that's coming out of the last couple of years, is this massive moving around.
Yep.
And the dollar is so different depending on the city you're leaving and the city you're going to. And this is going to drive, as I've been sort of saying from the mountaintop for the last few years, the incredible upside of what's going to happen in luxury, right? Because you're moving into an area that has a lot of new builds, and the new builds are very, very expensive. And some of them are very, very expensive specs, right?
They're like, how do I describe this? They're spec homes for sure, but they're teetering into custom home territory with some of the things that some of these builders are doing now.
Right. Of course they are, because those are the smart builders recognizing it's all about being ahead of what's going to, taking a bit of a risk, but understanding that right or wrong, we're not going to be economists here or social scientists, but at this time, the homes that are being built in many of these, what we would have historically called secondary markets, are now above the luxury threshold of those areas. Now, that's not saying they're not building below it. I mean, we can see the fluctuation in the luxury thresholds that we just published, that there are places where there's land that the prices are in some cases driving down the luxury threshold in a large county. But so you looked at, you spent your time figuring out area first, right? So you said not just Metro Salt Lake, but very important to you that if you're going to do this, you want to be around the amenities, the outdoors, the lake, close to skiing, all of those things. So now let's get into the amenities you are seeking in the home.
Yeah, good call. So we had two choices. There's Salt Lake County, which is like Salt Lake proper, basically, right? So, and that's typically where you would call that the more like urban area, and there's some suburbs that kind of like fall out from Salt Lake City. And then about 25 minutes south of Salt Lake County, you've got Utah County. And so at the time, we were thinking about buying in Salt Lake County in a specific neighborhood called Cottonwood, or Draper or Sandy, which are kind of in that area. And what we found was that, yes, for our price range, what we were looking for, we could find plenty of homes in that area, but they were older homes and they needed some renovation that might need to be done. For my wife and I, like, we're not handy people. We don't like the dust and all that kind of stuff. We're computer people, right? So I wanted us to go with something that was turnkey, move-in ready to go, right? And so we decided that new construction was our preference, and that kind of narrowed a lot of options down in the Salt Lake County area. So we decided to move further outside of Salt Lake County into Utah County. And I don't have to commute into work. My wife doesn't either. We do the work from home thing, so it doesn't matter. We're in a community called Saratoga Springs. It's on Utah Lake. So literally I have a view of the lake. I'm 5 minutes away from a marina. I can boat on the lake. I can fish, I can water ski.
So do you do any of those things today?
We don't do those today. We used to. We used to. And actually, that was, but when we were in Virginia, we used to do a lot of that stuff.
Yes.
LA, we didn't. I don't know where to start a boat in LA, Diane. Come on. Give me a break, right?
And that's what that's kind of my point, right? And so when we think about where the real estate professional, the smart real estate professional is focusing their time and energy, it's really in figuring out where the puck is going. I hate to use that analogy. We've overused it, but this idea of moving towards where there's growth, because when you and I talked about this, and it's clear what you just said. So, you weren't seeking perhaps the amenities, the Wolf Sub-Zero, all those types of things that perhaps if you would have taken the home that needed work, you would have had some built-in
I would.
equity, and you could have gone and done those things. For you, the single most important amenity was new.
Yeah, correct. So we have like Whirlpool appliances and things
Fine.
like that. It's okay, you know, like it's fine. Yes, I'd love a Sub-Zero fridge. Yes, I'd like a Viking range. But you know what? This is not a forever home for us, for sure, right? And actually, we were talking, remember when I was kind of going back and forth on the homes. I was like, hey, Diane, I'm thinking about building a custom home. And actually, the reason why the custom home was just not even an option after that was the supply chain issues we're having right now. Like they say it's a year, it's probably going to be 2, right? But so for us was like, it needed to be turnkey. It needed to be new construction. And we were willing to sacrifice some of the true luxury amenities. Like you're talking about the appliances and things like that. We've got like some we have laminate floors in some of the areas as well. So we didn't put in like real hardwood and stuff like that. But for us was like, hey, the calculus is like, this is like a 5-year home for us, right? And then, you know, obviously we're going to keep building equity. We obviously think we're going to be making more money for the future, right? So we'll trade up, right? And at that point, maybe that's when we start thinking about the custom home. But I just need to get the stress related to building or building a custom home or trying to renovate an existing one. I just don't have the headspace for that right now. So.
Yeah, and you know, I like to debunk myths, and the myths around luxury is, oh, it's location, and oh, it's this, and oh, it's that, or it's this shiny object, it's that shiny object, and those things are true, okay, but you know, they're also the one amenity that continues to, in my mind, get a little bit lost is what people are willing to do to get a new home.
I think luxury is more about lifestyle, right?
Yep.
Luxury is about lifestyle. And living in LA, I was not having a luxurious lifestyle. Right? Living in Salt Lake City in a home that actually is at a lower price point compared to what I'd buy here, with the things that I find important to my lifestyle. Being able to get to Alta, to Deer Valley, you know, to all these places within an hour, being on a lake, potentially buying an RV or a boat, right? That to me is a lifestyle thing that is luxurious, right? And I think price can sometimes be a weird, and that's why I'm so glad that the Institute has these price thresholds by market area, because like it's about lifestyle. And that lifestyle can cost very differently in different places. And so it's really, truly, I think luxury is about what people are looking for. And you're seeing this migration of people, Diane. It's about people looking for a better lifestyle. That's what it's about, you know?